Have you ever noticed how you keep having the same fight over and over again? Like, it doesn't matter what sparks it. Maybe she makes a comment about something you forgot to do. Maybe she questions where you've been. Maybe she just says something offhand when you're already tired. And in that split second, you feel it in your chest. You know exactly where this is going. It's like you're watching yourself in a movie. Part of you is screaming, don't do it, don't go there. But the rest of you just goes straight into autopilot. And the script always looks the same, right? Sometimes you shut down, you go cold, you pull away and stop talking. Other times you snap, you get sharp, say something cutting and instantly regret it. Or maybe you just fold and nod along, agree to try to smooth it over just to keep the peace, but inside you're boiling. Different words, different day, but the ending never changes. Distance, frustration, two people in the same room but a mile apart. And afterwards you're just left sitting there asking yourself, why the hell does this keep happening? Why can't I just handle this differently? And here's the truth. It's not about the fight. It's not even her. It's the cycle you're stuck in. And unless you figure out what's really driving it, you'll play out the same scene on repeat until it burns everything down. So let's get into why this keeps happening and, more importantly, how you can finally break it. And listen, if this is already hitting you, if you're seeing yourself in what I'm saying, then hit the like and subscribe now, because this is the work that I do, cutting through the bullshit, just talking about real stuff that men go through and showing you how to change it. So let's dig a bit deeper, because the first thing you need to see is how this cycle actually plays out in your life. The shutdowns, the snapping, the folding, the stuff that really kills your connection even without you realizing it. So here's how it usually plays out. Let's start with shutting down. You've all been there. She says something and suddenly it's like a fucking switch flips, right? You go cold, you stop talking, you retreat into silence. Maybe you tell yourself you're being calm, that you don't want to make things worse. But in reality, you've checked out and she feels it. She feels abandoned, like she's talking to a wall, and that silence doesn't calm things down. It makes her even more frustrated. And they're snapping. This is when the words just come out sharp and fast. You cut it down, you get defensive, you throw out something you don't even mean, and the second it leaves your mouth, you regret it. But it's too late, the damage is done, and she doesn't hear your regret. She just feels the sting. And then there's folding. You nod, you agree, you go along with it just to keep the peace. You tell yourself that you're just being mature. You're letting it go. But inside, you're boiling. The resentment's building. You walk away just thinking, why the fuck do I always cave? She thinks you're fine, but you're not. And later it comes out just sideways, in anger, distance, pulling away. Different men lead towards different defaults, but every single one leads to the same outcome. Distance, disconnection, and another fight just waiting around the corner. And the worst part is, you know that you don't want to keep doing this. You walk away from these moments kicking yourself, thinking, I should have handled that better. But the moment comes back around, the same pattern grabs you by the throat and drags you through it again. And that's what I'm saying. It's not her. It's not even the argument. It's this cycle. And until you see it for what it is, you'll just keep repeating it out no matter how much you promise yourself that you won't. Now here's the big question. Why does this keep happening? Why can you sit there fight after fight and think, I don't want to do that again? And yet the second you're triggered, you're back in the same reaction. It's because this stuff isn't logical, it's emotional. It's wired into you. The pattern looks like this. Something triggers you, maybe it's her tone, maybe it's a look, maybe it's just you're already on edge. Then this hits the old belief underneath, and before you realize it, you're reacting the same way you always do. Shut down, snap, fold, the outcome, same ending, same distance, same regret. And every time it plays out like that, it reinforces the pattern. It trains your nervous system to fire the same way next time, which is why it feels impossible to stop. These are survival habits that they started years ago. Most of us, we learned them as kids. Maybe you learned to go silent because speaking up got you punished. Maybe you learned to fight back because it was the only way you got respect. Maybe you learned to people please because keeping everyone happy kept you safe. Back then, those habits, they helped you survive. But now as a man, they're destroying your connection. Until you see that you're not actually fighting her, you're fighting an old story from your past, you'll keep running the same script. Different argument, but same ending. So let's peel this back even further, right? Because under every reaction, the shutdown, the snapping, the folding, there's a belief. And it usually sounds something like, I'm not good enough, I'm too much, I'll be abandoned if I don't get it right, I have to earn love. Those aren't random thoughts, those are stories that you picked up when you were young. Maybe from your parents, maybe from school, maybe from the way you had to adapt just to feel safe. And here's the thing, those stories don't just sit quietly in the background, they shape how you see everything. They hijack your body in the moment. So when she says something sharp, you don't just hear her words, you hear that old story firing off in your head. See, I'm not enough. And when she pulls back, you don't just see her mood, you feel that old panic. She's going to leave. And when she asks for more, you don't just hear a request, you hear, I'm failing again. And the second that story lights up, your reaction is automatic. You go cold, you lash out, you fold, you don't even think, it just happens. And that's why I keep saying, you're not fighting her. You're not even fighting about the dishes or the text message or whatever started it. You're fighting an old belief that got wired into you years ago. Until you expose that belief and see it for what it is, it's going to keep hijacking you over and over again. So the big question is, how do you stop it? Because knowing the pattern is one thing, but if you can't interrupt it in the moment, it's still going to run you. So it comes down to 3 simple steps. Step 1 is just pause. The moment you feel that trigger, just stop and just take a breath. Because without the pause, the reaction is automatic. The breath is what gives you a choice. Step 2, name it. Call it for what it is. This is the old story firing off. This isn't me, this is the pattern. Naming it separates you from it. It reminds you that you don't have to obey it. And then step 3, just choose differently. Ask yourself, what would the man I want to be do right now? Maybe it's staying present instead of shutting down. Maybe it's speaking calmly instead of exploding. Maybe it's holding your ground instead of folding, and then just do that, even if it's small. That's how you start rewiring it, not by waiting for a perfect moment, but by interrupting it one choice at a time. It's simple, but it's not easy. And the more you practice it, the more power you take back. So let's just bring this home, right? You've seen how it works, the same arguments, the same reactions, the same endings. You know how it's not random. It's not even a cycle. It's just a cycle, that's just been running you for years, right? And it's fueled by beliefs that you didn't choose. And you've seen the way out. Pause, name it, choose differently. But here's the thing though, knowing this isn't enough. You've probably promised yourself 100 times that you'd handle it better. And yet the pattern still drags you back in. That's why I built a full workshop called Break the Loop. It's 60 minutes where I just take you step by step through exactly how to expose your real pattern, how to uncover the belief underneath it, how to break it in real time, and how to rewire it with a 7-day plan that actually sticks. And so this is all inside my free school community. And right now there's only a couple more free spots left before it becomes paid. So if you're done just living the same shit on repeat, and you're actually ready to take back control of how you show up as a man, then this is it. So hit the link in the description below and I'll get you in. Don't put this off because, look, if you do, that's just the fucking loop winning again.